Everything else, all my furniture, water damage, smoke damage. I didn't get out of there with nothing.
That's horrible.
Yeah.
Well, I thought I'd give you a call. I've been so busy the past few weeks, I haven't really had a chance to do much of anything.
It's been real cold up here in Missouri. God, it's been cold, bad winter.
It's been a real cold one this time, huh?
Yeah, it's been one of the worst winters we've had probably in 20 years.
Do you remember telling me about how there was some people in the family that remembered that we were Pony Indians?
Well, my grandma did.
Your grandma told you?
My grandpa had told my grandma about it, yeah, that we were Pony Indians.
Did they ever talk about that there were people in the family that spoke Cherokee?
No. I'm sure my great-grandpa, Horace Johnson, I'm sure he could.
The Johnsons
could.
So the Johnsons could speak Cherokee, and they were Cherokee, right?
Yeah, No, Horace's sister, they said she could speak all day long Cherokee language. She knew it all.
Did they live down there in Old Horton?
No, Horace's dad, Bill Johnson, lived over here, about a mile from where I lived. His home place still over there. They called it the old Bill Johnson place. I'm sure that, I'm not sure if he's buried at Old Horton Cemetery or not. I just couldn't really tell you without going over and looking. There's some Johnsons buried over there.
And do you know if any of them Johnsons? I think that I remember that Mason Johnson lived up there around Twin Bridges. Is that over there close by to where you're talking about?
Yeah, Mason just lived about a mile up the road from where I lived. Yeah.
And that's not too far from Burnham, right?
About 12, 15 miles.
That whole area, that's between Willow Springs and West Plains, right?
Yeah, we're southwest of Willow Springs. We're about 16, 17 miles northwest of West Plains.
Did you hear about that movie called Winter's Bone?
Yeah, I heard about it.
It's supposed to be about the Collinses and Johnsons of Siloam Springs.
Well, I'd heard they'd made a movie, but I never didn't even hear that much about it. I never did know what it was about.
It's bad. I keep hearing that the person in it that they talk about that was killed and put in the pond or whatever, and they cut his hands off, that's supposed to have been Ronnie Johnson.
Oh, yeah. That's not been too many years ago that happened.
Is it true that when they found Ronnie Johnson that his head had been cut off, his hands and feet, and he'd been skinned?
Well, his head hadn't been cut off, but they had chopped his teeth out.
They chopped his teeth out, okay.
They tried to fix him to where he couldn't be identified, is what they'd done.
It's horrible.
His dad was Thurlow Johnson.
Ronnie's dad was Thurlow Johnson?
Yeah,
And which line did Thurlow come from?
I'm trying to think what his dad's name was. Oh, he was a brother. Thurlow's dad was a brother to Burdine Johnson, and I can't remember what his name was. Hell, shit, I know it well. I know mine. Shit, I don't know. You know what? Mine Burdine. He's Burdine's brother.
Now, did they come from James Granville Johnson?
You know, I don't know who they
William?
came from, Scott.
But they were from that family anyway.
Yeah, yeah.
And you're Johnsons. You're from.
I'm from James Washington. They called him Morris James Washington Johnson.
That was Granville's brother.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I believe Thurlow's dad's name was Scott. I believe Scott Johnson. I believe was his name.
So Thurlow's dad's name was Scott Johnson.
I'm almost certain it was, yes.
I'll have to try and see if maybe Chris has them in the tree.
Yeah.
I was talking to Donna Tower earlier today, and I was trying to remember who it was that was telling me that John Trollinger used to walk up and down that road there that goes through Burnham with a shotgun like he was patrolling it.
Well, I've heard that. I don't know whether it's true or not, but I've heard different ones say he'd get out and walk up and down the road there with a rifle or a shotgun and tell me he's patrolling town. I don't know.
Like Kanu.
Knowing him, it probably was.
Any news or anything like that going on up in there?
Nothing new that I know of, Scott.
Nothing.
Haven't heard nothing.
I was trying to remember some of the older stories that you were telling me about. Like there were 2 or 3 relatives that was up there that knew a bunch of stories, and I was trying to remember which ones you might have remembered. There was a man came down from Idaho, and he recorded someone telling.
My cousin out in Idaho, Van, he came back here, and we got Joe Collins and Arlen Collins and Marvin Thornton all together, and he recorded a lot of what they told.
Van Johnson did?
No, Van Collins.
Oh, Van Collins.
Yeah, he was half Johnson.
He said, it seems like I remember that, I think I talked to him on the phone. He said he had that cassette and he put it up somewhere in the house, and now he can't find it.
He's supposed to have sent me a copy of it. He never did.
Now I wonder what stories that they were talking about. Were they talking about old Horton or?
Nah, they're talking about back in their lifetime and their early childhood, I think.
And you, when were you born? You were born.
I was born 42.
42. So what was it like growing up there in that area of Missouri in the 40s and 50s?
Was it rough? I can tell you for sure it was.
It's pretty rough.
Yeah, I had to wear dresses till I started school when I was 6 years old. I didn't have nobody hand me down any jeans.
Do you mind if I record some of your stories?
Why, I don't care. You'll have to call me back a different time of me get some better state of mind than I am right now. Wait till I've just been having to survive down here the best I can get by, and call me back like in 60 days when I get everything rearranged. I should be
Oh, really? That's good.
Get settled down and everything, I'll tell you some of the stuff. But right now, my mind, I tell you, I'm lame brain since that burnout.
Just talk.
Have to move and start all
Stressing
over.
out and everything, yeah.